Hello, welcome to the Hoop Collective podcast. We talk about the NBA. This week, Tim Bontemps and Tim MacMahon, Band McMahon, we had the nominees announced, the candidates announced for the Naismith Hall of Fame. And there was a lot of them. But the headliners of the class are Manu Ginobili, Chauncey Billups. Who else am I forgetting?
Tom Chambers was the first time nominee. Tim Hardaway nominated again. Muggsy Bogues nominated. Bunch of guys.
So this is Ginobili's first time he's eligible, and he's probably going to get elected based on this class. And so he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and that stuff matters. Being a first ballot, it's almost like the difference between being in the exclusive club and being in like the roped off area. I don't know, clubs, whatever, the VIP area. Like, it's one thing to be in the club, but there's a special layer if you're a first ballot Hall of Famer. And Ginobili is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He should be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Well, I argued for him to be in the top 75 class. So I'm obviously in agreement with that.
Well, and the Hall of Fame considers all your international accomplishments too.
Correct. It's a basketball Hall of Fame, not the NBA Hall of Fame.
That's right.
That's important.
That's right.
But some of it comes down to when you get nominated. So let me just say, I consider Tracy Mcgrady a friend. Tracy and I have worked a lot together. I was with Tracy when he found out he got nominated to he was nominated in 2017. I was with him when he found out. I wasn't with him in the exact moment, but I was with him the day he found out he got in. He, I think, was stunned that he was a first ballot Hall of Famer. He was overjoyed. But part of the reason he was a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I say this with all honesty, is he was the biggest name in that year's class. The next year, Jason Kidd, Ray Allen, Steve Nash, and Grant Hill were all eligible. And I'm not sure Tracy makes it that year. If Tracy holds on and plays for a little bit longer, he ends up potentially in that class with with Kobe and Garnett. I'm not sure he gets in.
Which is why Paul Pierce was not a first ballot Hall of Famer, because he was in the same class as Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, and Kevin Garnett.
And I don't know where you come down on Chris Bosh, but Bosh had to wait a year. So I thought about this, Bontemps. Who right now currently playing in the NBA do we think is a first ballot Hall of Famer?
I have a list of 8 guys, not in any order.
Okay.
Chris Paul, Stephen Curry, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Is Jokic a first ballot Hall of Famer already? Can we already say that?
I mean, I'm saying that based off the fact that I don't think his career is going to end tomorrow, and he's already done enough and is on a path to do enough that I think it's safe to say he's on that trajectory.
I'm going to throw Draymond Green in that list.
First ballot.
I think Draymond Green is
going to be happy to see you.
Yes, based on his role in a dynasty, winning 3 championships, one Defensive Player of the Year, and very likely to be a second one this year.
Yep.
I think Draymond Green should be on that list.
I think Draymond Green is 1,000% a Hall of Famer, but the question here is like because the thing people need to know about the Hall of Fame, to Brian's point, you can only have 3 or 4 guys each year get in. So if Draymond retires the same year as, say, Steph, CP, and LeBron, I don't think he's getting in on the first ballot.
Right.
So to me, the list needs to be. But
we're going to take that. We're going to take that out of the equation. We're just going to say, if you're a first ballot, it should be like, and you're still in the league, it should be kind of non-negotiable.
Well, no, but that's what.
By the way, the other one you didn't mention.
What's that?
Melo's got a.
Well, I was going to bring up
Melo.
Melo. Melo's a top 10 all-time scorer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
Melo's another guy that I think is a Hall of Famer, but potentially in the right class, he might not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think Carmelo Anthony's making the Hall of Fame. I think Klay Thompson is making the Hall of Fame. But I think all those guys fall into sort of the Paul Pierce bucket, where in the right year, they're a first ballot Hall of Famer. In the wrong year, they're a second.
I don't know, man. You score over 28,000 points in your career.
I think Carmelo probably gets on the first ballot. I'd be fine adding him too. I mean, these guys are all Hall of Famers to me.
I think there's a better chance of Carmelo being a first ballot than Draymond, even though Draymond has all the rings.
Yeah.
Carmelo's points.
Yeah. Carmelo's role in points makes, I mean, he should probably be on the list too.
Where are you at on Damian Lillard? He just did make top 75.
Dame's another guy that, and you know what? I forgot about Westbrook too. I was making a quick list. Westbrook and Dame are guys that I think both would have a shot at it too. And then you have guys like Anthony Davis, maybe depending on where his career goes, would have a shot at being a first
today. I don't
guy.
think you could. Today, I don't think you could. I don't think like if you're talking about the McMahon trajectory, I'm not sure that Anthony Davis right now I could say would be a first ballot.
Oh, and I just realized I forgot somebody else. Dwight Howard should 100% be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Now, Dwight Howard didn't make the top 75 list for political reasons, which maybe is why he wouldn't make the Hall of Fame on a first ballot. But Dwight Howard, 1,000% should be a first.
Well, and hold on, you say he didn't make it for political reasons. I think Dwight Howard didn't make it because his career was such a disaster for a good 5, 6, 7 years.
People
have maybe forgotten about how dominant he was.
People don't like Dwight Howard. Like Dwight Howard is
including a lot of his teammates over the years.
Yes,
which gets back to my point.
Dwight Howard has a demonstrably better career than Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was on the top 75 list. Dwight Howard was not. I think there's one pretty obvious reason people don't like Dwight Howard very much.
So here's the thing.
He was a hell of a player.
Here's the thing. A lot of the people who were on the committee
are the people voting for the Hall of Fame.
Are the people who are going to vote for the Hall of Fame.
Right. That's
so
right.
The fact that Dwight didn't make that list, it doesn't bode well for the first ballot.
No.
He should make it, but for the same reason he might not, for sure.
Yeah,
but you're right. You guys are right about Carmelo. He should be on there too. I was making a quick list and forgot him.
And Dwight was a Hall of Famer before he ever got moved to LA for the first time. He was a Hall of Famer based purely on his accomplishments in Orlando.
Yeah,
but we're talking about like the cream of the cream, de la creme de la creme. We're talking about guys who would be.
I only speak English and Spanish.
We're talking about like absolutely like we're going to discuss it to go through the motions, and I think it's a shorter list than we're coming up with here. I mean,
I think those eight guys that I said.
Russ is an MVP, but I'm not sure he's first ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say Russ and Carmelo are in the same group. I think those 8 guys I've listed make it any year. And then I think Russ and Carmelo make it just about every year. And maybe there's one where they might not, but I think those guys would. And then like after that, like guys like Dame, Draymond, Clay, AD, I think all those guys have the potential to down the road, but it would depend more on what class they're in than it would. And like, because again, this is about whether you're going to be an automatic, like, Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, when they retired, didn't matter what year they were going to be in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. So that's to me, when I was making this list, it was whoever you're up against, you're getting in the first time you're eligible. So that was kind of my thought process on it.
I'd have to go look to see how many MVPs got in on the first ballot.
That's a good question. MVP. I would guess most of them. I mean, the only MVP who's not going to be in the Hall of Fame is Derrick Rose. So they've all made it. It's just a matter of whether they've been first ballot or not. But I would think they've all been first ballot.
Yeah, and if you're a multi-time MVP and a Finals MVP, that's pretty much a guarantee.
I mean, there's only like 15 multiple-time MVPs of all time. So yeah, I mean that's an inner circle thing automatically.
Or even just you've won an MVP and a Finals MVP.
Yes.
Yeah. Like LeBron, KD, whatever. Those ones aren't complicated. Steph, those are easy. They can
no Finals MVP there. You just set the standard. But yeah, Steph obviously.
Well, that's because people gave Andre Iguodala his Finals MVP.
Iguodala getting wide open shots because Steph Curry was having guys triple team him, which I'll never.
Iguodala
always be
obviously. Iguodala is not a first ballot candidate. His candidacy is going to be interesting. I would say if you're going to put Andre Iguodala in the Hall of Fame, Sean Marion needs to go in first.
Well, we're not talking about just Hall of Famers. We're talking about first ballot.
McMahon was just giving Sean Marion a shout. Let him do it.
I'm just shouting out Matrix, a man who did a much better job guarding LeBron in the finals than Iguodala did when he won Finals MVP for doing it.
However, LeBron was a different player.
I would agree with your stance, McMahon.
When Marion was great in that finals, 2011 finals, but LeBron was a different player when Iguodala guarded him, just in fairness. The other thing I'd say is, yes, that is debatable, but LeBron also got, I can't remember the actual vote totals, but LeBron was right there with Curry, like in second place for winning. LeBron almost won the finals MVP as a loser. He was in the conversation twice. So LeBron might have split some of the votes that could have otherwise also gone to Curry because LeBron was so good in that finals. But but I think Manu will get. They announced it over. They announced
Manu's going to be the headliner in this class. It's pretty clear he's going to be the first ballot guy.
Yeah. They announced the finalists, I believe, over All-Star Weekend, and they announced the actual inductees over Final Four weekend. So. Congratulations, everybody, and thank you for watching the Hoop Collective. We'll talk to you soon.
Adios, amigos.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.